So we have a
It's
quorum.
not a
right?
360-degree camera.
180.
Okay, so shall we call this meeting to order 7:37? Yeah, everyone's at their place. Yeah,
I
okay, good.
agree.
All right,
Somebody's second.
okay. Gosh, I'm okay. And I mentioned to a couple of people here earlier, I had some dental procedure done, so I'm not feeling at my best. So if I start to fade, I know Smith will the scepter will be passed and we'll do the best we can. Sorry, my dog wants to come in. I apologize. Bella? Oh. Okay. Sorry about that. All right. So, we've called the meeting to order. Any public comments?
No.
No, okay. We haven't had public comments in quite a while. I expect one day we may, and I know we kind of arbitrarily said that public comment should be no more than 5 minutes. At some point, we may want to discuss making it 2 minutes, which is also customary if
Could be an hour for this one.
I don't know if we have to take a vote on that, doing something as drastic as that. I don't know. Do we have to vote on that?
We never heard her.
At the discretion of the chair, so I think that's you.
Okay. I would suggest that we have public comments no more than 2 minutes, and it is at the discretion of the chair. So, if we are flooded, it would keep.
I don't think we
it
have
more
to.
concise.
We don't have to vote on this. Why don't we move on?
What's that? We don't have to vote on this? Is that true? I'm not sure if we do. David, do you know if we have to vote on this?
Yeah, you do not. You can do it at the chair's discretion, whatever you want to do, but with nobody here, I think we ought to probably move on.
Okay, sounds good. All right. So let's move on to the minutes. Did everyone have a chance to review the minutes?
Yes, I saw a couple of typos.
So I think first we have a motion to accept the minutes, then a second, then we have discussion, I believe. Do we have a motion to accept the minutes?
I
Um,
accept them.
Andrew, do you want typos now, or do you want to correct them first?
Do we have to do a second first to accept the minutes?
Second.
What's that?
Yes, second.
Jane first,
Actually, Bill,
First,
it
Bill,
doesn't
second.
look like,
Tarzan third.
wait a second. I think Bill wasn't here in January. I don't see your name that you were present.
He can still second the motion.
Can you?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right, good. Okay,
Hold on it.
open
Oh, you good.
discussion. Any discussion? Okay, any discussion? Yes. Okay, go ahead, Smith. Sure, typos.
Okay, on number 4B, vice chair report. There's a typo in the third line. It says looks forward to every day a rec. I think it should be at rec.
I caught that one too, Smith. Yes.
Under number 7, the fifth line, sports is spelled incorrectly.
This line.
Sports
Oh,
leaders,
Sprots.
sports leaders.
ORTS.
Excellent.
Yes.
Okay.
Under number 8, section E, the very last line, Smith and Andrea also committed how the new system is much easier to use. It's probably commented,
Commented, yes. Great catch.
and those are what I saw.
And then I just saw in section 5, probably that the second last full line, it said Andrea encouraged to get the pool open. I guess it's Andrea encouraged to get the pool open. So just add a D to that.
Yep.
For the fitness center, I'm not sure what language we use. We are referring to the fitness center as the, let me make sure it's the right term, the Wellness and Health Fitness Center. Is that right? Is that the right name?
Yes.
Wellness and Health Fitness Center?
Yes.
Okay. So I don't know if that's what we said at that meeting, but so I don't know if, my thought is that it should be corrected to say it's Wellness and Health Fitness Center.
What did we look at that time? We looked at that.
But I don't know if that's how we.
Oh, because it's now home health and wellness.
Wellness should be wellness be first. Yeah, wellness should be first.
Okay.
Okay.
And then I don't know if we said that, I know you talked about that it's a gathering place for seniors. I don't know if we stated, I thought we did, that it's open to younger community members as well. It's hard for me to know for sure if that's what we said. I thought we did. But I don't see it in the minutes, so I'm not quite sure how to handle that. That's all I saw. Any other, did anyone else notice anything? Jane, any other comments about the minutes? And Mary, you weren't there for that meeting, nor was Bill. Any other comments?
That's the agenda.
It's coming in fuzzy.
Yeah.
Okay, so if no other further comments, all in favor of accepting the minutes from January 23rd, please say aye, raise your hand. Actually, it would just be Smith, myself, and Jane.
I accept them.
Okay, aye. Okay. So pass.
Aye.
Okay. My report. I know this might sound redundant, but that's okay. I just want to continue to express how grateful I am to all the staff for ongoing dedication to keeping the community healthy. So really appreciate that. I'm extremely grateful for the smooth transition that was handled between passing all duties from Jim Franco to John DeMeo. And from my perspective, it seems like it's been seamless. I'm not sure if that's your impression, John, but it's been really so smooth, and just really appreciate all of the really personable people we have in rec. And Jim was extraordinary at that, and John, you're extraordinary at that. It's very comforting to know that if there are questions, Jim is.
You are 100% correct. 100% correct. It was a smooth transition, and Jimmy's right upstairs, and we just pick up the phone, boop, 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 and he's right
Exactly,
there for us.
yeah.
He's
I
still
was
helping
going to
us.
say that it's great that he's more than willing to continue to take questions, and that yes, he's literally upstairs and welcomes a little friendly drop in. Hi, how's it going? So yeah, that was great. And I'm not sure if we really congratulated Jim properly. I don't know that we did, for his years of service and dedication to rec. It's been tremendous over the years. So he should, at the very least, get a thank you. And I don't know, it'd be nice to do something more than that.
I was going to mention that as well, but I didn't know if this was the time to do it.
Yeah. Well, this is part of our report. We could, maybe, well, yeah.
Maybe something we should discuss as commissioners, like, through an email or something.
Well, except we can't really have a meeting.
Right.
That's the thing. We can't really have a meeting through email with the commissioners, because then it's a whole freedom of information issue. So whatever discussion would have to be here. I'm not sure how we handle that.
Andrea,
Yes,
I believe there should be two letters of thank you, one from the Recreation Department and one from the commissioners. I'll take care of the one from the Recreation Department, and I think the commissioners should put together a letter or something to Jim also.
fair enough. So maybe what I can do is write a letter, and then John could send it out and have commissioners read it, feel free to add, and then forward it back to him. Maybe that's the way to go. I think that would be the way we'd need to do it.
Mr. A,
Yes.
maybe one day when you and me, Chris, and John DeMeo are free, we can take him out to lunch or for something,
Absolutely. What are you making?
whatever you want.
Reservations.
Oh, okay. Reservations. You're good.
Andrew,
D-
can that, we don't need to hit all the commissioners. I think you can handle a letter of thanks and, you know, if we see them or would like to send one individually, we could add addition. Why don't you take care of, do it for the commissioners, get it done. By the time you get it to, what, 6 people?
Oh, I think we could get it done. I think we could, once my tooth heals, I think we could get it done.
Yeah, we don't need to approve it. We trust you.
Even though you lost a tooth, we still trust you. Put it under your pillow.
Yeah. It is, you know, we don't need to belabor it. It is still, you know, he's done so much for the department and in terms of communicating with the commissioners. I kind of, unless it's a letter from all of us, or we do
Yeah.
two separate. I'm not sure. Smith, you have a thought about that also?
Someone explain.
No, if we just respond from the recreation commissioners, I think that's fine. You know,
On
The
the,
department also, that's,
On the right.
I
Do
wasn't
it
saying
together?
less, I was saying less time.
you're saying do the one letter. Is that what you're saying, Smith?
No, I didn't say.
No, I'm saying 2 letters,
You,
but you write one and I write one.
You write it and
You
it's over
write it
with.
and
You don't
just
need it
do
approved
it.
or proofed by the commissioners.
Okay.
You,
Can you
all right.
blame, we'll blame the tooth, okay? One less tooth in my
Okay.
mouth. That's, that, okay,
Let's keep moving.
okay. Okay,
Yeah.
all right,
all right.
okay. To be continued. So I also wanted to say that, something that very sort of, there's been an important process about this pool, and it's come from the community as a whole. And I think what we learned about this, you know, the challenges around the pool, something that happened that was very helpful is that we had a lot of feedback from a lot of people, and we really went to bat to fight for this community resource from the department, from community members, from commissioners. We all really spoke up about it, and I feel like our voices were heard. You know, there was an article that was written by Austin Mermina at in the New Haven Register, initially with, you know, what's going to happen. We're in I forget the tagline on his article, but it was very uncertain what was going to happen, and we continued to fight for it. And then the filters have been purchased or are in order. They're going to be purchased, or they're purchased and are on order, and we will have a pool once again, hopefully by late summer, perhaps sooner, but probably more realistically by late summer. And that, I know this is a pool discussion, so I really wanted to focus on the fact that we had a voice, the community had a voice, and at the very least, we're going to have a pool up and running for the next few years, starting in, you know, September-ish, and that we can resume programming. And that feels very empowering from my perspective, and I want to thank all of those who really went to bat for the pool. So there'll be more about pool discussion later on in this meeting, The other thing I wanted to just report on was this community and cultural center. So the plans are pushing forward. We're as a committee, we're looking at materials and how to make the facility inviting and as low maintenance in terms of, you know, the kinds of materials that will be used for flooring, et cetera, and to maintain the character of the building. So it's kind of an exciting time. There has been identified upstairs that there would be a room that can be used for yoga and Tai Chi and dance and perhaps other things. At times when it's not being used for that, it might be a boardroom. So the floor will be forgiving for all of those activities, and there will be a nice space for rec activities. In one of the bays of the plan, you know, that sort of has evolved and changed over the years. But it looks like the current plan is that at least there will be some fitness equipment in the bay, and there will also be some recreational sorts of equipment like a ping pong table or whatever other sort of game tables that you may have. And at times, you know, it may be that tables have to be moved aside and that it becomes part of a meeting room. But the whole idea with this overall space is that it can be flexible, and as years go on, the demands of the community will impact, you know, what that space will be. There's thought that there will be some sort of a cafe and meeting spaces, and that the idea is really inviting. And I could see rec doing like game nights or something to also bring a range of ages together in the space. So there's been a lot of discussion about this fitness center, and I think you know, the voices have been heard that we want at least some semblance of a fitness center along with some other recreational facilities within that space. And so that's something I wanted to report on. The other thing that I just wanted to mention is there was this Freedom of Information Act presentation on the 21st, and Bill and I were there to hear it all. And if you haven't had a chance to ever go to that, highly recommend. It talks about things like we can't have meetings on an email where we make decisions through email. So those sorts of discussions and plenty more. So it was actually quite interesting, and it is available. It was recorded, and I would strongly recommend that everyone have a chance to view that. And there's the person who presented, Tom, whose last name is escaping me at this moment, has contact info if we ever have questions. Okay, so the whole idea is that John posts minutes for the meetings, and that what's discussed in the meetings are transparent and are records that are available to the community, whether you live in Woodbridge or outside of Woodbridge. The ibuprofen kicked in. Okay. That's all I got to say on that note. I pass the scepter to Smith, our vice chair.
I'd like to just say two things really quickly. Number one is I'd like to formally thank Jim for all his work in the department. I look forward to joining Teresa and John at some point to take him out to lunch. I would
love to join.
I've known Jim since about 1988 over in Orange when I first moved to Connecticut. We used to hang out at his house playing volleyball in his backyard in Orange. And then sort of I knew, you know, he worked at the library for a while and he worked at different things before he came to rec. So I'm glad that he found some place that he was, you know, happy with, and hope he's happy with the move. And secondly, I'd like to congratulate John DeMeo for their promotion. I know he's looking forward to getting some more hours in, and John, you deserve it. And congratulations.
Thank you, Smith.
John, you put it, you paid your dues for sure. So your patience is paid off. Congratulations.
Thank you very much, Smith. I appreciate it.
I would also like to second that. Yeah, congratulations, and thank you so much, John.
Thanks, Andrea.
And the second thing I'd like to say is that yesterday afternoon, my son and I went down to Center Road Field to hit some baseballs. And the field's amazingly, and I don't know what goes into that, taking care of that field, but that field was in tip-top shape yesterday. I don't know if anybody's been down there to groom it or anything, John, but it's in such good shape. The drainage is so good. I don't know what you do with those fields. You know, up on Acorn Hill and Center Road and different places, even Pease Field. But they're in tip-top shape compared to the other fields in the area. So just wanted to mention that. And we had a great time yesterday, just playing ball for a couple of hours and enjoying the weather. So I don't know what you guys do to those fields and what the
It's a town crew, it's Timmy from the town crew and his two workers. They're on top of everything, right? As soon as that spring broke, of course, winter was warmer than spring is right now, but they've done a great job.
like that field is ready to play games on already. And I'm like, and I was
Yes.
like, you know, it's in such good shape. So I just want to mention that, and that's it for now.
The geese are on.
Thanks, John.
Thank you.
On to the liaison report.
They're both not here.
Oh, he left.
Yeah, he had to go.
Yeah, the second meeting.
He said he had nothing anyhow.
Okay, moving on to the pool. We're silent.
So the pool, we're gonna have a pool. And then we'll be able to resume learn to swim through the school so our students
The
can.
pool should be ready by September.
Okay, so should be there for learn to swim, right? And for.
It should be opening by the last week of July, August, or first or second week in September. The pool should be up and ready to go.
Fantastic. So it's not too early to begin to think about our programming of learn to swim and general swim and swim lessons and maximizing and WAC, of course, and maximizing our use of the pool, because we don't, as exciting as this is, we don't know how long we'll have the pool. We don't know what the long-term plan is. I do know that it's no longer under the I don't know if that's the correct term, the under the Beecher Road Schools Capital Projects Building Committee charge. So they're no longer involved with this discussion, which they I learned at the last meeting I attended. So I'll no longer be attending that meeting. So we want to maximize this pool.
That's correct, Andrea. I believe that
Oop, lost you.
Andrea,
Now I hear
hello?
you.
Can
I
you
hear
hear
you
us?
now. I
Hello?
hear you. We don't see you, but we hear you. Now I see you. But we don't hear you.
Believe that the town pushed on the Beaver Building Committee like this.
We're losing you.
The maintenance and taking care of the pool for the future. I
I'm
believe that's
sorry,
how it
we
went.
missed what you said, John. It was a little choppy. Can you repeat?
Yes, I like 2 large pizzas, one with anchovies. I said that, can you hear me now?
Yes.
The town passed their charge of the pool to the board of the Beecher Road School Building Committee. They passed it off to them, so they wouldn't have to deal with it. The Beecher Road School Committee decided that it's not that part of their Beecher Road School Committee, Building Committee, and passed it back to the town. So now the town is in charge of the pool, and that's where we rest at now.
Okay. All right. So, and there's no more, I don't know that there's been any more discussion at this point about the big picture.
No.
So we're seizing the moment now. So when that pool is ready to roll, we want to be like ready, like really ready.
John, I know you mentioned this in the last meeting, but could you clarify or just review some of the alternatives for the summer camp in terms of staying cool?
Yes. We'll have a couple of water slides here like we've always had. We've always had them here, at least two for them to use, but the Woodbridge Club and I are working together, the president of the Woodbridge Club. We will be having, I believe, they're gonna let us borrow their pool from 9 to 11:30, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursdays. We will supply the guards. We will supply everything for that pool on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. We'll full payment of everything. And their charge for us is a thank you for letting them be a part of the community and our children coming to see their facility. So there'll be no charge, I believe, on their side, but we will take care of the charge of any cost that it costs when we're using their pool. And we will have a pool this summer, and we will be busing with B&B busing. We'll have a bus going over there. The bus will leave at 9:15. It'll come back, pick those kids up, drop off a second group, and then bring that second group back to pick them up at 11:30. By 11:45, they'll be back here for dismissal. So we will have 3 days a week of swimming, plus what we have here on the campus.
Okay,
That's
thank you for
fantastic.
clarifying. That's great. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I remember just in past years, and maybe I'm sure you and he have talked about it, there were like swim team competitions. Wednesday rings a bell, but maybe things have changed.
What bell?
The bell in my head, thinking, oh
Okay.
yeah, weren't there
No,
swim
no.
competitions?
They don't have that. We're gonna be working with them. We've already talked, I've been in numerous meetings, and she was here and we talked about it. And one of the people that's in charge of setting up for their pool, and they're gonna have a new pool director. I don't know who it is, but they'll have a new pool director. But one of the charges is gonna be that Rec's gonna be there for 6 weeks. And their children that are there in the morning will be allowed to swim with our children that are there. That's why we'll have the extra guards, and we will pay for the guards, even though that they'll have usage of the pool with us.
Okay,
And there's not that many kids, but it'll work out.
great,
They're
great,
very good to us. They've been very kind.
wonderful. Okay.
Thank you for clarifying.
Okay.
So, do we have, okay. Anything else about the pool right now?
Just that when we do open up and open up programs, I like to go back to 3 days a week of lessons. I like to have Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday like we had before. That was a great opportunity for people to have 3 different days of choices of swimming from the community. That's the only thing that I would like to add to that.
Yeah, and, okay, and yeah, and actually when, maybe as we, proceed even this spring, we could see what a schedule would look like when do we have free swim, open swim, family swim, whatever the different areas are. Are we going to be able to go back to early bird swim? All of this, so we can really have a handle on it early and not,
Yeah, I don't think you're gonna have early bird swim, and I don't think you're gonna have midday swim. I don't think, because of the safety of the children and everything like this, that adults are not gonna be allowed into the building like that. There have been over 300 shootings in the United States this past year, 300 mass shootings. And they don't want, the safety is more important to these, and I think the school is
Of
not
course.
going to allow us into their building during the day. And I may be wrong, but I believe that's what they're gonna do, is they're securing that building as tight as they can. And there were 2 shootings today already.
There were 2 shootings today.
Yes, there were 2
Tennessee. There was a shooting in Tennessee today.
in Tennessee, yeah,
There were 6 killed.
there's a lot of problems, and we need to be as safe as we can with the children here. I know it's important to go early bird and midday were great, but we'd have to sit down with the superintendent of schools, because that's her decision to make.
Okay. So it'd be good to
Maybe
have that
for-
discussion with the superintendents, I think. Yeah, sorry, Teresa.
Maybe for the after school, because we don't want, want the kids to come in after school and then pick up and only one point of entry. So maybe offer one session for 45 minutes instead of 2 30-minute sessions. And so that when the kids come down to the pool, then we're walking them right out front for a drop off like we currently do for after school. So there's no one actually entering the building. So if that helps the superintendent feel better about it.
That's a very good
That's a
suggestion.
great
That's very good.
idea.
That's a good idea.
And
So
then,
there's only-
45-minute lesson instead of a 30-minute lesson. And then we'll maybe able to split up the groups a little bit more to try to take more kids.
Mm,
Yep,
That'd be
that
great.
sounds,
That's
that's, for
wonderful.
safety reasons, that sounds excellent. There'll be nobody entering, they'll all be just leaving at the same time, instead of people coming in and people going out, back and
Right.
forth.
And we
Okay.
can all go out front like John DeMeo does, You can stand out there together, John.
And wave.
John's now living in the cellar at Town Hall, he's going nowhere.
Don't worry, the
Right,
tornado will
that's
visit you
true.
soon, John. Don't worry.
true. Now, I thought before, I don't know at what point, there were some security measures in terms of the doors being blocked off, but I hear what you're saying. I guess having a discussion with the superintendent will be critical in our planning. Yeah. Okay. All right. Good. Not too early to think about this stuff, so that's great. Next, we were going to discuss recreation pool and facility program fees and just
I'd like to make a suggestion that we table that until Mike Heffenbaum is here. Mike had asked the questions and I answered all of his questions. I have the packet. And I believe we gave you the packet Friday, and I only gave the commissioners 2 days to look at. I think if they take that packet home, really go over it and look at what I put together for the cost and everything, that at the next meeting, we could be really informed. Every commissioner would be informed and have the correct, and then I could just answer their questions of what they like to ask.
Yeah, it is a pretty heavy packet. I wondered if there are any preliminary, one question that I had when I was reading through, thank you so much for preparing all this, John and John and Teresa and whoever else was involved in this. I didn't know if Mary, if you would know the answer. There was it was unclear what the fees were at Hopkins pool, I know WAC is doing some swimming at Hopkins, and I wondered if you actually knew what the fees were at Hopkins for WAC. Do you know?
We called Hopkins, we asked, but we got no return. Paul.
I wondered, Mary, are you still in?
Yeah, I'm here. I do not have knowledge of what they're paying over there.
I tried to find out from a parent just this evening before our meeting, and they didn't know the answer, but he's going to do a little more research and hopefully be able to find out.
Okay, yeah, it'd be nice to have as many facts as possible so we can make informed decisions.
Can I ask
So-
a question about one of the charts that you sent out? And
Sure.
maybe I'm misreading it, but if you can see this one, it's not numbered.
Was this the Woodbridge? What's on top there?
The WAC pool donations and pool usage.
Yes.
Um,
Where at the bottom it says average for 16 years, that one?
yeah,
Yeah, okay.
so I circled
That's
that.
the town, the one that says the town pool maintenance cost per year, 2007 to
that-
2023. That's the
No,
town maintenance, what it costs for the pool, for the average for 16 years for the pool.
You're looking at the WAC pool donations and pool usage?
Yeah, and WAC pool donations and pool usage is at the top. They donated 2 clocks, 2 lanes, the UV light was $30,000, and the UV maintenance for 3 years. And that came to $118,000 of money that they put forward. And they also paid $150,000 in pool usage over from 2007 to 2023, whatever it is. So the WAC payment from 2007 to 2023 was $268,320 approximately. And then the cost of the pool over the same period of time, an average of $94,000 a year times 16 years. I would tell you that, but I just put that in there to show you the cost of what they put forward. They did pay a big amount for the UV light, but in retrospect, the I think there was, I don't know how many years there was in a row that the Recreation Commission is the one was at fault. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 years of keeping it the same. There was no uppage. It was $21.71, which comes to $3.62 per lane for 6 lanes. And that's 13 years. And it goes back and we never went up. That's not WAC's fault. That's the
No, we
Recreation
dropped the
Department-
ball.
Recreation
We dropped the
Commission's
ball
fault.
on that.
We dropped the ball on that, and that should have, if it went up, they would be in the ballpark of where they're supposed to be. But we didn't do it, so it wasn't their fault. But now we're stuck with the pool being managed like this, and Tony Genovese meeting with him and telling me that we have to make sure that we secure the pool and whoever uses it at the correct cost. And that's where it's coming from. It's coming from the town.
So,
So
John, at the bottom of that sheet, it says average for 16 years is 94,000.
that's for the town, what the town paid for the year for maintenance of the pool. That's the town's cost.
I understand that, but maybe I'm totally misreading this because from 2007 to 2023, 83,000 to 94,000. It was
It goes up it goes up and goes down every year. Some years you don't have any maintenance, you don't have big maintenance fees. You don't, like 1 year we had to put in the filters. The filters were $65,000. I had $5,000 a year put away for 7 years, 8 years, something like that. And then the finance department said, we don't need to put $5,000 away. And 2 years later, the filter went down. So we came up with $55,000 of a $65,000 cost to pay for that. So that's why they go up and down.
sure.
I just went over. Go ahead.
I understand, but at the bottom it says average 94,000.
Yes,
None of those previous 16 years are above 94,000. So I'm wondering how the
except for
average.
can you look at 2008?
2008, it's 97,000.
Did you see that? Well, then you do it, add them up, and maybe I made a mistake, but
And isn't it 17 years?
2010, 2017, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 years. 2023 is 16 years, I believe.
I think 17.
Okay, 17 years.
If you do 17, it'll come out lower.
17.
If
Yeah,
you
when I
divide it by
saw that, I'm like,
16.
only one of those years is above 94,000. So I'm wondering how the average could be 94,000.
Yeah, it probably has to be redone. The
Okay.
math there.
In that area. So I was just a little confused, but it's probably closer to, to 90-ish. But no, I understand the, a bit, the fact that it's going up and down. And I appreciate you making the list of every year.
I'll review this page, I'll correct it if there's a correction that's been made, and I'll have it sent out to all the commissioners. I'll
Great.
get that correct.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yep.
Save his stamp. I don't need it.
Okay. Are there any other questions? Otherwise, our next meeting will be April 17th, right? We had
Yeah.
to change it because the town meeting. Hopefully, we can all be there.
already?
17th. Okay. Any other questions about any of that? And then, it talks about we'll discuss the pool fees, but also in terms of other fees, facility usage, programming, to just kind of review everything and make sure we're.
Our fees were raised in 2022. Our fees for 2022 were raised about 3.5% to 5%, depending on the programming. There was no raise in 2023 coming up because of the pandemic and everything like that. We held them for 1 year. We usually do that. We go up, then we hold it for a year, and then we look at it, and then we go up again. Our fees have progressed every year.
So it's every other year.
Every other year, we progressed our fees.
Okay. So do you feel that are there any concerns about that aspect? So you're talking about programs, field costs, all that?
Yeah, we go over everything. And the next budget coming up, next year's budget coming up, we'll have an increase again in fees.
So this, right, so this budget, the current fee cost carries us from July 1st through June 30th.
Right.
30th? Was it 33rd?
Correct.
And so then the next decision point will be, right, when
Right.
you present your budget in December, is it?
Yes,
Okay,
yes.
okay. Okay. All right. Any other discussion about this? We'll
Yeah.
table it.
Oh, I have something else I'd like to say on behalf of myself, and I'm sure the other commissioners, how wonderful it is that John has joined us
Thank
and
you.
is a member of the group.
Yes.
Thank you.
You're just gonna
Yeah.
get accolades throughout this meeting, John.
And you deserve them.
Thank you, Jay.
Send them a note,
It's true.
and I'll proof it for you.
Jane might make some baked goods also, you never know, right?
Yeah.
They're in front of them.
They're right here.
Man, what a bummer that I'm not there. Okay, yeah. Personnel, so yes, there was some. Let's see.
Yeah, there's a sports leader and then our field hockey coach on Saturdays.
Right, I'm digging through. You prepared such a large packet about the pool. Much appreciated that it's somewhere in the depths here. But you did they passed background check. I know that, I read that.
They pass background checks and national sex offender lists, yes.
Okay, Evelyn Liu and Rachel Guerra. I'm not sure.
Guerra, yep.
Guerra, okay. So do we have a motion to approve these two?
Yes.
So a sports leader and a coach, a head field hockey coach, is that right?
Yes.
Yes.
No, field hockey.
Field hockey, yeah, she just works an hour on Saturdays.
Okay,
I make a motion to approve
I second it.
okay. Any further discussion?
Yes, I'd like to just say that David Cohen is doing a fabulous job getting people to work. He's constantly on the phone. He's constantly calling different people like this. And he's the individual that is finding people that will come to work and work for our program. We opened up this Saturday with gymnastics and we had 6 girls working in the gymnastics program. We've only had 1 or 2. We're having a great year so far to start with in those programs. But I want to give accolades to Mr. Cohen because he's really out there, picked up the ball and ran with it, and he's getting people to work.
It's great. Yeah, David does a great job. So let's just to get back to the motion, all in favor of approving these two Evelyn Liu and Rachel Guerra as for the positions, please say aye.
Aye.
Okay, so moved. Okay, then we are moving on to the review of the office manager's position. Right?
Yes,
That would be John DeMeo, right?
that would be
Yeah.
John DeMeo.
All right, the illustrious John DeMeo. So was there something in our packet about this? About the position? I'm not remembering seeing it, but I might have.
That was a town,
No, there was nothing in the packet.
no, that's a town position to put together. We have nothing,
Oh,
John's been doing this. He's been assistant to Jim over a year doing this, and he's been doing the job. And John's excellent on the computer. He knows computer inside out. How do I know? I think about it every 5 minutes. John, come in my office, help me. And he knows exactly what to do. So he's totally qualified to work in our department. And he's probably totally qualified to work up in the upper office upstairs where the real people live.
You mean you're not real down there?
Well, I don't know, we're down here.
So
so-
is there anything we need to approve? I mean, it sounds like there's no doubt that we all feel very strongly that John is the man for this position and is doing a fabulous job.
And I
So,
believe if there was a problem like that, Tony Genovese would have stepped right in, but he knows exactly what's going on. He's gaining two great people. Jim's filling upstairs and John's stepping into his footsteps right here, where we just glide right in and keep going.
wonderful.
I think Tony said, the rec commission has to make a motion to approve me as the office manager, and
Yes.
then it goes to the board of selectmen.
I make a motion to approve you.
Second.
Triple.
Quadruple.
Okay, you're approved.
You're done.
Any further discussion? Okay, all in favor of John DeMayo stepping into the role of the office manager, please say aye with enthusiasm. Aye. Unanimous. Okay, congratulations. Well,
Congratulations, John.
Thank you. Thank you, guys.
feel free to make a speech.
Or,
Yeah, no, I'll
Yeah.
have-
Thanks for the buffet you sent over.
Yeah.
Thank you. Boy, we've got great people in the rec department. Yeah, thank you. What do we, directors report, speaking of
go.
great people,
Oh, and look at the way the first one's written. Wellness and Fitness Center. Health and Fitness Center. It's written correctly. Right there. We're up to 25, 30 people in there like this.
is it 25 or 30, John?
It's 35. Oh, I'm sorry, was it 25 or 30? Did I say? I misspoke. It's 35.
Perfect, okay.
Sorry.
We like to know those numbers, that's great, good to hear.
And the Witness Center is running well. Everything's going good over there. People like it. And we'll be hopefully moving over to the old firehouse like this and moving to that position and making a dual position. One of health and wellness, wellness and health, and also for recreational purposes there with the equipment and everything. Make an open center, which I think would be nice. It'd fit right in with the culture center, bringing more people into it. Our office facilities.
Oh, can I ask one question?
No? Okay, all right, you can ask
Okay.
them.
I was wondering, do we have, I know the center is a big congregation for some of our more senior community members. I wondered if we have also not expanded, because it's always been open to 16 and up as well, but I wondered if we have some younger members as well.
Yes, I don't know if we have younger members right now, but it's open to the public, it's open from 60. Few college kids right now. We have a few of those, 4 or 5 of those, I'm not sure. But there are a few, and it's open to 16-year-old and up.
Okay.
Whereas the senior center is for people that are, I'm not old enough for the senior center yet, Bill
Right.
is, but actually I am old.
You
enough.
are old enough.
I am.
Old enough.
Yeah, so we don't overrun each other. People can go to both like this, and it works out nicely.
Great. Okay, thank you.
Outdoor facilities are in great shape. Fields open up April 1st. The fields officially open up April 1st for permits and things like that people want to use it. As Smith had said, the baseball fields are in great shape. The tennis courts are up and all running. All the tennis courts are up. The nets are up. We put the nets up 2 weeks ago. We left 2 nets up all winter long so people could play.
And people
there.
have, it's been real, pickleball took over.
Yeah, the upper court.
They took over 2 full courts the other day.
Right. But in the summertime, we'll have 2 more courts over at Beecher. We have the 2 extra courts at Beecher Road School once the summer comes. The tennis courts, that's what we're talking about. With the ice skating rink, we had 5 days. This is the lowest we've ever had. The last time we had 13 days was the lowest. This is 5 days. of actual skating on the pond. Skating on the ice one like this. I am looking into, for the ice rink, I'm into look at the synthetic ice rink, you know, and buying it. First of all, that you can attach to it, you can make it one size. About $40,000, you make it one size, the next year you add to it, the next year you add to it, the next year you add to it, until you get the same size that we have right now. It's a synthetic ice, it's a synthetic material, and we could put it right on the tennis courts to use it, or we can go over to the Country Club of Woodbridge if we want, and we can flatten out the area there, and that we can put it there, and we can leave it up at least 7 or 8 months a year. It could be up, because it's not frozen, it's ice material, it just has to be brushed off. And that's what I'm looking into, but I don't know, that's gonna be an expense, of the 6-year capital budget expense, and we'll see what happens in that situation. Otherwise, we had a rip in the liner when it came, and Timmy and his group fixed it like this, but we called the company and they told us to just keep it, and they sent us a new one. So we do have a new liner at no charge. It's sitting down in the thing, it's packed away. So in case anything happens, we have another liner without expending any extra money for that, which was good.
And the synthetic rink, that's strictly ice skating, no other form of
No other
skating.
sports. It's ice skating only, no roller skating.
Okay,
And I am gonna be putting a sign up. I left up the sign that says no ice skating. It's gonna say no roller skating. No roller skating or rollerblades are allowed on the tennis courts. We're gonna put that up because they mark when they spin and turn. They'll mark them and scuff up the whole court like that. So that's, because somebody told me to take down the skating rink sign. And then I thought about it. I said, no, I have to put up a sign that says no rollerblading or roller skating. So that protects them. All right. Programs, I'm gonna give you a little history. Back in 2015, for the weekday programs, the recreational programs for the spring, we had 270. That's a large amount of students, but 70 of those students were the pool. We're in the pool program with Teresa, 70 of them. So we're about 200. Right now, we're at 244. We're at 244 members, students in our programs, our weekday programs. We're at the scene right now. We may have Thursdays afternoons for after school basketball. We have to shut it down at 28. We just don't have the room. We have so many children signing up, and we haven't even opened up running club yet. So when we open up the running club, another 7 or 8 more students will sign up for that. So we are doing absolutely fantastic. John has been great at this. He's been putting out blasts to the people on the our recreational forum, sending everything out. We've been advertising everything like this, and everybody's coming in and they're using the program. They love the program. Dave Smith running the basketball program, Steve Cahoon at Center Gym, and then Paul Economopoulos running the program over at Beechwood School for gymnastics. You got to come and see gymnastics. It's packed. The Tuesday night basketball program, come early or you don't get a seat. The parents are packed there. So we're getting out there. People like the way we run our programs. We're a competitive program where everybody gets to play. Everybody, and that's what they love the most. That's what they love the most about us. And that's what we are. I call it a mom and pop shop. We cater to every child at every level. And that's what we're doing. Okay, the finance report is in there.
that's great though. Great. John, it's so, our kids have so much competition and pressure, and the rec programs are so inviting. They've always been so inviting for athletes and kids and adults who might not be sort of as inclined, and it just makes for such a nice environment. And the coaches are tremendous. They've always been tremendous. Really did.
Instead of a kid getting shut off about like this, they come and play, and the next thing you know, they're playing. Their skills levels become higher and higher because we hire so many good people that are trainees. Like Dave Smith was an all-star basketball player. Steve Cahoon was an all-state hockey player. Paula was a gymnastics person, and physical education teacher for 35 years. These people teach, and the kids love it, and some of them grow out of our program and go on to play.
Yeah.
On to play, make the high school teams and stuff like that, because they had the opportunity to play when they weren't as good as they could have been, but they got better because they were able to play, and come. And I just gonna even one little story. I was talking to a parent Saturday, and she said to me, you got to hear this. I said to my son, I wanted him to go to some programs, some different programs than when he's going to like this. And he says to her, well, is that on the same day as recreation basketball? She goes, yes. He goes, I'm not going, I'm going to rec. So he says, I want to go play with my friends. And that's what it's all about. That's what recreation is all about. So.
Yeah, a lot of great encouragement. Yeah, thank you for sharing that.
You're welcome.
John, I have a question. Are there teams or is it just
We put them together. No, there's no teams. We put the teams together. We make the teams.
each week?
Each week, after school, we make the teams each week. Tuesdays and Thursday nights, teams are put together for the entire season.
Oh, that's what I
Yeah,
asked.
yeah, teams are put together for the entire season.
So the
If
kids,
they're unbalanced, Smitty swaps them
right, all right.
to other
But at
teams.
least they get the bond as a team.
Yes, they bond as a team.
Okay.
Tuesdays and Thursdays, that's the older.
Yeah, that's important.
After school is just practice and play. Tuesday night is a classic league and they play to win, even though it's fun, but they love it. And also, we had a team, the JCC needed a place to go. So we invited them to come play with us. And they came and they outscore every week our players by 40 points. So we talked to our kids and the kids says, no, we love it. We love it. We're playing against the best, the good guys like this. So they come every week and the kids have a great time. And it's when he said, you can't believe it.
Great
They
idea.
love it. And it helps us out because the JCC has helped us out so much with the pool. They've done so much for us. You know, same thing with Orange. They've done so much with the pool with helping us so much. So whatever we can do to help them, we will do.
Yeah, it's a very mutual cooperative relationship that you've all fostered over the years.
Yep.
Yeah, very community. Yeah. Great. I think I stopped you in your tracks when you were about to move on to financial report.
Oh, he
Yeah.
skip
Did he
it.
that? Did he cover that?
What's that?
Did he cover
No,
that?
I think,
He did not, as of yet.
yeah, no, we're at, our expenses are at 67.6% and, 67.6. And, well, hold on a second. What was that, John?
Last year it was right around the same,
Yeah.
67 points.
Okay, we were at the same as last year. So we're right on target. We're right on target. We're not going over anywhere. We're doing everything we can to keep our programs, you know, fit. We're cutting back here and there, but our expenses are the same. And that's why I get upset when the Board of Selectmen only cut us $4,000. I could understand that. There were little things here and there we could do that. But then the Board of Finance comes in and cuts us $20,000. And I sent them a letter and I told them like this. It was falling on deaf ears. They cut us $20,000. So I'm putting together the budget now. This year's budget that's going to be passed is going to be $20,000 less than what we need. But that's not going to stop us from having kids in safety situations where we need enough children, enough adults to watch the children. And if the budget runs over because of safety, then let it be. I'd rather be safe than to put children out there with only 1 or 2 coaches when we need 4 to 5 coaches. And we are going to do that. And I spoke with Tony and I told Tony this and I told him what we're going to be doing. And, you know, he just looked at me and just shook his head, yes, but he didn't really say anything. But we need to know that our program, 244 children signed up for rec. That means that our income has raised completely and we're covering the cost of what we do. Now, I know 3 departments are the largest departments in this town. Police, fire, and school. That's your budget. All the other commissions are small, tiny little budgets. And when you start whacking little budgets like this, and we came up with a budget that was, we didn't ask for anything major. We didn't go overboard. We didn't ask for 100,000 different things. We asked for what we needed and I did not receive it. So hopefully down the road, we can do this because who knows if we're going up to 244 now in the spring, what's summer camp going to bring?
Mhm.
You know, our numbers will go up and we're not going to cut individuals. We're going to keep individuals so that we keep our ratio of like 1 to 8 instead of 1 to 16. That's insane to do something like that. So I just wanted you to know that like this on the budget, but we're working hard and we'll do what we can to stay within our budget. but at some certain point, when push comes to shove, I'm going on the side of safety. I just want people to know that, I want the town to be aware that that's what the recreation department will be doing. Thank you,
Okay, thank you, John.
Thank you, John.
thank you.
Um,
Policies and procedures.
We've heard nothing.
No.
nothing. Okay. In-person meetings then, is that our next discussion? So, so my understanding is some commissions are meeting in person, some are virtual. We've had kind of the luxury of, doing a hybrid. I know it's been challenging for PUA's team to cover so many meetings in this with the OWL and to be able to do it both ways. So I guess the thing we need to think about and is unless PUA has more resources, do we want to go virtual? Do we want to go in person? And I think those are our options, right? Sort of what we've been doing. Either PUA's got the resources, which has been challenging, in person or virtual. So this is a discussion. I don't think we'll have the answer tonight, unless, we're missing Mike, and I think, John, you were going to reach out to Mike.
Yeah, he said, what did he say? I know he said he prefers 7, and no doubt virtual is easier, but open to either.
Okay. Oh, so the idea of moving the meeting also to 7 o'clock as opposed to 7:30.
Yeah,
Definitely.
I think though, if we do hybrid, I think it's gotta be at 7:30.
7:30, right, because that's when the technical folks are.
Yeah,
So there's two thoughts here. In terms of the time, well, let's start with the time. Is 7 or 7:30 preferable for folks?
7
7 o'clock.
o'clock.
7.
Mary?
We only,
But-
Andrea, we switched 7:30 to accommodate you.
No,
we
we didn't
were-
switch. No, we didn't switch to accommodate me. We switched to accommodate PUA being able to have her team do the hybrid meetings.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
Are we
So
gonna?
at this point, let's do 7.
Can we-
Mary, do
Can-
you prefer, what was your thought?
I prefer 7, yeah. But
And-
that means we are at all WebEx meeting because there's no room at that time, right?
That could be. That could
I
be.
understand.
I think
Yes,
so.
correct.
Smith, what about Smith for you is,
I prefer 7, but I'm fine with either way, and
okay,
I can come in if we need to.
okay, so
Well,
7
you
sounds
could say-
preferable. I'm open, so 7 o'clock is absolutely fine. It sounds like, oh, Bill, I'm sorry, Bill, what do you prefer? 7 or 7?
7, are we gonna discuss the effectiveness of virtual, in-person? Is that coming up?
Well, that's sort of part of this. So the discussion, so there's the time piece, and then it's like, yes, virtual
Okay.
or in person. That's the next part of this discussion. Yes.
All right, well, being here in person, I don't think the people who are home, it's convenient, and I don't know if it's for a safety thing, but you go out anyhow. But it's not very effective here. You can't believe how little we're hearing from people at home. We're putting pieces of sentences together, and hopefully the minutes. There's no way it could be correct.
Really? So you're not hearing?
Or he has a very good imagination if he does. I don't know how he does it. It's bad. I don't know whether it's
John,
the equipment here, whether what you're using at home. I'm here because I don't trust my home equipment, setting it up. It's sometimes I I missed the meeting, fiddling around, trying to set it up, you know. I ran over another one. I came running over to make it in time. I just think in person is better. The quality of people's reports and hearing things, the ability to share, I think you speak with one another, you gain from one another, you build on each other's thoughts, and those things don't happen virtually.
Virtually. I
We
agree
can
with
also
Bill.
use, I believe we can use Beecher South Assembly once a month on a Monday night. Where we used to meet there, and we could set the tables
we
up
do.
far enough apart where we can get everybody there. I'll have John check into
Yeah.
it tomorrow. And we could
This-
go, and then you can have your in-person meeting.
Does anyone feel strongly about doing a virtual meeting? Or is everyone good with doing it in person? I'm totally open to either.
I'm fine with either way.
I'd rather do in person. I'm with Bill.
Okay, Mary?
I can go either way.
Okay, and Mike was okay with either, did you say, John?
Yes.
Yeah, let me read his email. There we go.
So I'm hearing what you're saying. I mean, there is something about sitting in the same room together that is really, I mean, rec is about community and being in the same room, and it is a different synergy. So if everyone agrees, I'm absolutely fine with us returning to in person. And for those if anyone feels that they want to wear masks or not, that's personal preference. We can still have a little space if that's an issue for anyone. So,
And John DeMeo, would you be able to look in to see if we could have the South Assembly at 7:00?
Yeah, I will check in with the office at Beecher, definitely.
Is that what I just said to you 5 minutes ago? Alan Smith was listening. He didn't, it was a private conversation. I told him to call, Beecher School. But I just want to say that I miss you guys. I miss being here. I see Jane, I see Billy, they're right here, John, myself, and I don't know, it just, to me, it's
a
like,
different.
it's like I get to see you guys, I get to talk to you guys in person. And then before the meeting and after the meeting, we do a lot more talking than just having the commission meeting.
yeah,
So I'm in favor of you going to in person.
okay. I get that. I totally get that, John. That's why I stop by your office so often, because I miss.
I know, and I love it when you see it. The turtles always say hi to you.
They do. So.
Andrew, can I just mention also, I know that we have lost Kim.
Yes. Yes, of course. Okay.
We're looking for another member.
Yes. There's been some discussion, there's at least one person who's interested. Another person might be interested. So we should know by the next meeting, who that person will be. And then, hopefully we'll be able to attend for our April 17th meeting. So when we know, I guess that'll get reported to John, and you can let everyone.
Yes,
send out email.
I spoke with Tony, and that position is enforced by Beth. The first select person enforces that decision of who they want to pick or what they want to choose. So she'll interview everybody, and then she'll choose who it's going to be, and then we'll find out.
And I have gotten to meet with one person who expressed interest, just to let you know that information was shared. So we did get to have a phone discussion, and so there may be someone else also. So we are
Good.
getting there. And thank you so much, Smith. I meant to bring that up. So thank you so much for bringing that up. Yeah. So maybe we are ready to take a vote. There's two parts to this vote. So one is do we have a motion to change the meeting back to meeting at 7 p.m. on our designated meeting days?
Yes.
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 So we have a motion by Jane and a second by by Smith. All in favor of moving
Aye.
meetings back to 7 o'clock, please say aye.
I,
Aye. No disagree. Okay. And then the second part of this vote is, do we have a motion to return to meeting in person in whatever space we can get, either the South Assembly, which is nice because it's more spacious, or perhaps even the meeting room. There is still the meeting room, right? That's a little smaller space though.
Yeah, but
So maybe South Assembly.
Yeah, it'd either be South Assembly or we just have this Selectmen's Boardroom, because there's another meeting in
This is
the main meeting room.
Yeah, but
So I
you get bounced out of there every other month.
So, let's make a motion to meet in person,
Wherever.
hopefully
Yeah,
in the
but-
South
but
Assembly.
we're on in, starting in in April.
We can meet the bleachers at center field.
That would be nice.
What
South
about room
Assembly,
16?
South Assembly would be ideal because if we do have public comment, there's definitely just more space that people could attend meetings as well. So that's contingent on John finding out if that space is available. So a motion to return to in-person meetings. Did we do the motion?
We did that.
No.
Yes,
We
yes.
did everything.
No, we didn't.
No,
do
you
it,
didn't.
we didn't do in
You
person.
did for the.
We did do
Yeah, we moved to in person.
Okay, so
Second.
we have a motion and we have a second, and any further discussion at all? All in favor?
Aye.
Person, with the idea that hopefully we can get the South Assembly. I guess the backup is the boardroom where you're currently located. Yes?
Aye. Aye.
Aye. Okay, thank you so much. Okay, publicity. So, I guess this discussion is about some of the great work that John's been doing in getting the word out, and Teresa's been doing getting the word out about the program. So REC does an enormous amount of work to support the community, and we're not always so good about publicizing all of these great programs that we have. So we want to continue to do that as much as possible. So for example, the what are we calling it? The Wellness and Health and Fitness Center, we have this wonderful, sweet facility, and a lot of people didn't know about it. And now memberships are increasing, and we want to continue to get that word out there to the range of generations in our community. So perhaps the high schoolers should know about it, and we need to be creative in the best way to publicize. That's just an example of the center, but when the pool's up and running and any other programs we're doing. So John, you might have comments because I know you've been, trying to get more of our information into the various public.
Yes, John DeMayo is getting into all the newspapers, whatever we have to do. He's also sending out blasts, the 5,000, whatever we have, a number of,
It's about 400 people.
about 400 people. He sends it out every 2 weeks. We're sending it out. We're going to do the same thing. We're going to put together a program for the fitness center. We're going to put the program and letting people know that, come September in the fall, we'll be having, swim lessons, stuff like that. So people are aware of it. We're going to be publicizing more. John did the publications for our programs for the spring. We're off the charts. So we're going to keep doing that. And that was your suggestion to start doing that. And that was a good one. And we took it and we're going to get it done.
Okay, great. So the news blasts are great, and anything we can get in the town news, which I know you've been also doing, and I don't know, even the town website. I don't know if we can have anything on that about, I know Smith, you were kind of highlighting different programs, and you were commenting on that as well. So I just have to.
so John, how many people do you have for running club right now?
20.
20? How many are you expecting?
I'm hoping to get 30. When we're outside up in Northern like this before the pandemic, we are in the mid-40s to 50.
Okay.
So I'm hoping that, people are gonna come, they wanna get out, they wanna get there, and it's at Beach Road School North, and the
Yep.
kids like that. So we're hoping for another 10 in that position, and that opens up in a couple weeks.
And that opens up the 17th, I believe, right?
Yeah,
If I'm not mistaken.
yes.
Is there a place where we can publicize or a little sort of bio? Meet our new office manager, John DeMeo. This is what he does. You can reach him at, or meet Teresa, who not only has been our pool director, but also is doing this, that, and the other thing. Is there a way to highlight what who people
somebody-
are? Yeah, sorry.
Why don't you could write an article for the town newspaper?
Yes, I don't know.
We
I
can put it
submitted-
on our Facebook page, for the rec one that we have. I don't know about meeting Teresa, but maybe meeting John
Meet your rec
DeMeo.
department, yeah.
Meeting John.
Meet your rec department. Meet your
Who
commissioner, Billy.
But we can write, we can definitely put something on there. And we also been running ads, just so you know, through our Facebook page too, and post pretty regularly there on both groups. So if John DeMeo wants to take a second and write about himself, and he gives it to me, I could write about it, but I would have to leave out the part that says cookie dough. And we can definitely, we could definitely post something and like do a highlight section, like say once a month, like on a Friday or whatever day of the week you want to pick, and post it on there.
I'm
Well,
just
you
wondering
got
if it's a way to
Good
talk about
suggestions tonight, T.
what's that?
I said T's had some great suggestions tonight.
The Teresa, does Rec have a Twitter page? Or can the town have a Twitter page?
We don't, but I mean, I don't see why I can't link it. I mean, we've have quite a bit of following now on our main rec one outside of, I try to keep the learning stuff separate from it and kind of just use the rec stuff for rec updates.
Right.
But we have quite a bit of following on both. And I actually did a small ad because I had some free advertisement from them to boost up our followership on our main one, our rec one. So, I mean, I don't see why we can't link it. I mean, we don't have any pictures of kids or anything like that. We're
Right.
purely our programs and information.
Right.
Yeah.
And if there is a picture of a child, it's probably most likely mine. So I do give you the permission to use it.
Inner karate outfit.
But I like the idea of highlighting whatever. I know you are the social media maven, Teresa, about, the fitness center. It's open to, all ages, and this is some of the equipment, and
Mhm.
there are people here who know what they're doing to help out if you have questions or, unfamiliar, just like sort of highlights about the different
Yeah,
people and programming, just to let people know who we are.
we can definitely do that.
Yeah.
Right.
Just a thought.
No, I see here.
Any other thoughts about this for advertising and kind of publicizing what rec does? Maybe keep it fluid. Maybe there will be other idea will generate more ideas.
John, how do you use one page camp flyer that goes to the schools? How do you begin to advertise camp?
Camp's going out in the newspaper, it's going out in the next issue, goes out on the town website and email blasts.
And then
And
I
we-
take their flyer and I kind of make it a little bit more colorful, that from the email blasts, and I make an ad for it online,
Gotcha.
like more interactive kind of basically.
We have no problem with that program. People come out of the woodworks to sign up. They're already calling.
Beecher doesn't publicize it?
No,
Huh?
Let us
Really?
flyers through them.
no, we're not, we're not allowed. Every administration is different.
Yeah.
We've only had one superintendent, Dr. That was his name.
Stella? Dr. Stella?
Dr. Stella, who believe that the community is part of the school is part of the community, and the community is part of the school, and we need to work together. And he let us put everything and anything of our programs in there along with their programs. And, other than that,
It's part
we
of
put a
the,
stone wall. I think it was when they evicted us. They evicted us, I don't, they told us to get out on a Monday, be out by Friday. I mean, we left, I'll just give you a little joke. We left, 2 mops in the gym. I got a call from the superintendent's office. I got a call from the principal. I got a call from the custodian. I got a call from God, I think it was, but I wasn't sure. About not leaving the mops in the gym. The recreation department needs to follow through and put the mops, and we told you to where to put them, and hang them on the wall down by the loading dock. And so I called everybody and I apologize for this, and we're now hanging the mops down there, making sure. It's
Wow.
amazing. It's amazing. Every administration is different.
True.
Bob was good. Bob was another one who worked with us. This lady seems very nice. She seems very nice as a superintendent, but I believe that the school has gone in a different direction because they want a new school, or they want more classrooms, or they want the pool area. They want to have, I'm just hoping that the development down in the flats, by Orlando Street there is, 55 and older. I'm hoping the whole thing is that, because that's gonna be massive. And I don't know how we're gonna deal with the traffic and everything, but if it's younger and there's programs in there and everything, because you're talking a couple hundred more kids added to the program. They're gonna, need millions.
So it would be more programming for our rec, be more rec programs. Let's, I guess at this point, we should move on to correspondence. Correspondence, so there's some, right? Bill Sermley regarding athletic complex at Acorn Hill. Anything we need to vote on there?
Yeah, to vote if you could use, field 2 at Acorn, Bethwood Baseball uses it, he got permission from Dwight, their board. So it's just up to you guys.
It's fine.
Yeah,
I vote yes.
That's okay with the rec department.
yeah, motion to approve, sure.
They don't have any other restrictions in terms of injuries that are different than anybody else that's using the field, right?
No, I don't think so. He sent me his certificate of insurance. I think everything else was, I think he's rented it. I'm not 100% sure, but I think he's rented it in the past from us, so through you guys.
Okay.
Yeah, I know Bill well, but I don't remember him using their fields before. That's why I'm asking. So, but I don't think there's any difference between, him using it and Everson using, West River, because he's he's the business. So,
Yeah.
Okay. So, do we have a motion to approve Bill Sermley's request for Core Training Academy, given the fact that Bethwood Baseball has granted permission from them to rent the field on Sundays, April 16th to June 11th? Motion to approve that?
Yes.
second,
Second. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
aye,
Okay. Do we know what percentage of people are Woodbridge?
Yeah, he wrote 22.40.
Yes, he did. Interesting. What does that mean? 22.4%?
I would imagine he means 22.4, yeah.
Yeah, okay. And then we have something from Dwight Rowland, that they're proud to be able to present their check for $3,000 to be used for designated purposes. They continue to keep the fields up, and have always contributed to that upkeep. So a thank you to Dwight and Bethwood for their ongoing contribution of $3,000. Yeah. Okay. Then we have a letter from Frank Wang about pickleball and the tennis courts, and he had some concerns. He wondered if it's possible to build more tennis courts or a new pickleball court in the next year's budget. In recent years, there are fewer and fewer days when the ice rink is frozen in winter, but there are still people playing tennis in December and January last winter. And the skating rink facility took up 2 tennis courts, and overweight and water leaks damaged the tennis court foundation and finish. Tennis courts are expensive to build. Can the ice rink be built elsewhere in the future? John, do you have a comment on that? Is
Yeah,
that?
there's many holes in this decision. The water doesn't ruin the thing. And there's no damage to the court itself because it's in a plastic container. Like this, there's no water touching the program like that. We've had years before this year was, because we had a bad year this year, we only had 5 days of skating like that. But in the past, we've had, 5 to 6 weeks of straight skating out there, which is important. We don't have this facility, and if we had to build one over at the Country Club of Woodbridge, they don't know what they're doing with that property, and they don't want to build something over. When I talk to them, they don't want to build something over there because in case they get rid of that property like this. So we have really no place to go. I think it would be it's a perfect spot. And you know what? It's winter time. It's time for another sport. It's time for people that play a different sport, that do different type of athletics, that want to come in and play. And I think that's important that we're rounded and everybody gets to be part of the recreation department and not just year round, people doing the same sports over and over. Yes, if we can build more courts, we'll build pickleball courts. We will build pickleball courts. And, but right now we don't have that. And we can't put it up at Beecher North because, school, you can't go on school property when school's in session. So
True.
that program is closed for the day. So the only place we have is the tennis court, because the dog park took away our spot where we had our program there at the Fitzgerald property. And they made it a dog park.
Well, that was also, there were always issues where the blacktop would, the sunny weather, we had issues with the blacktop there too, right?
Well, the
there's just
blacktop
not
there
been a-
wasn't a real blacktop. It wasn't a real blacktop. It was just,
Yeah.
it was placed down and, and it wasn't taken care of. And we skated on the blacktop. Now we have a portable rink that we could put over the blacktop and it wouldn't be no problem at all, but they took it away. And they
So
made it a
we
dog
do the
park. And I've been
best-
there dozens of times. There's no dogs in the small park. Well, a couple of times, one dog, maybe 2 little puppies. There's hundreds of people going into the regular park and using the park and using it. It's great to see them over there and everything like that. But it's an area that you may get 1 dog, 2 dogs at the most here or there.
I think,
And there might be other times when I'm not there, but I've gone there and I've watched and I've sat there and I'm amazed at the people that use the park. It's great. But
the other day,
how little
actually,
access.
I happened to be there. I saw like 8 or 9 small dogs. So, there's never been a perfect solution for this skating rink, and it's just
Well, I
doing
wish
the
you called
best
me
we
there
can.
that day because I would have loved to see that since I
I
go there all the
would've.
time, not just
I
once in a
would
while.
have.
I
Okay,
go
next
there a
time I'll
lot.
call you, John.
Yeah, have Ben come too. I'd like to have
I
him
will,
sit-
totally.
sit there. I'd like to
So-
talk to him.
So, but you're.
So I don't know what our solution is.
Well, one of the things though that is worth commenting, you're saying that the tennis court, for sure that has not damaged the foundation.
I'm sorry, I have a physical education and recreation degree in health. I don't have one in engineering. So I couldn't really tell you, but we've had it on there for 4 or 5 years.
Yeah,
And we've had no problems, no cracks in the surface, no anything, and so no problems at all.
okay.
So I'm going by 5 years of statistics
Okay,
on the program.
do we need to respond to Mr. Wang?
I don't know if you want me to respond, but I don't have enough pencils.
Well, it's something to think about too. I mean, right now, this is the only.
We'll think about it, but
Right now, this is the only solution we have for a tennis court. We're doing the best we can with the resources that we have. In
Right.
looking at the tennis courts over the last 5 years that's been there, You've observed no damage. Thank you for your feedback. We do hope to have more pickle courts. We would like to expand facilities. I mean, I think that's.
I mean, I took Adam over to the Fitzgerald property and went in there and I showed him we could take the parking lot, the parking lot. There's two sides to it, the one closer to the soccer fields and then right on the other side. And a synthetic surface could go right on there and block it off and it could stay there because you have a big parking lot in the back. But I'm just saying, we could just do it in the winter if you want, and it comes with a storage trailer. It comes apart, it snaps together, it comes apart and it goes in the trailer and you can put it back out. So in the wintertime, when soccer and lacrosse are not being played there, we could put it there if we got it. We could put it right there and there's your solution.
The rink or the
rink.
pickleball? Oh, yeah.
Right.
The
And they can have the other place for 2 more courts for
But you're
badminton.
saying in the parking lot at the Fitzgerald Field,
Mhm.
which that might be an issue for not having enough parking.
It could be, but right next to the parking space, right next to it, this is where they were going to put the dog park, a completely flat surface. We can go in there and if we can put a slab down, just one slab, a multi-purpose slab, not just a slab for this, but it could be a large slab. It could be used for pickleball. It could be used for basketball at the ends of the net. And also you put down the synthetic course and you could have it for skating during all the winter months and then take it
Right,
up
just
and reuse it for any other sport you want to use it.
parking.
gonna
will
cost
have to-
money.
I'm quite certain parking will have to be addressed, that there will be discussion that there's not enough parking there. This
Yeah,
is,
but that's why I'm saying we could just go over, to the other side. Oh, and put it. And there's what sports are played in the winter? What sports are played there in the winter? I don't see anything from November, from when they close the park, when Adam closes the park. We got November, December, January, February, into March, 5 months.
I'm sorry, are we talking about the same, you're talking about Fitzgerald property?
No, what's it called? No, I'm sorry, the Allegri property.
Yeah, Allegri.
I apologize.
Okay,
The
that's a
Allegri
different story.
property.
I'm
Oh,
thinking,
I'm sorry.
okay, yeah,
That
afterwards.
was my fault, sorry, Allegri property. The
Okay,
Allegri property has a nice parking lot we could use, and then there's a big parking lot in the back. They can still park,
I see what you're
and we
saying.
don't have to use, and when soccer's there and lacrosse is there, we could take it down. Or we could build a slab right on the other side, right there, a permanent slab, and it's just for basketball. It's for pickleball. It could be set up for anything, but in the wintertime, we could put the synthetic turf over top, or we could actually, instead of synthetic turf, we could put our regular skating rink on it.
Yeah,
Perfect.
And
wow,
that's a good solution right there.
that's an interesting solution. So it's a
Yeah.
matter of cost. What would that cost? So that's something to do some research with. Yeah,
You'll get $100,000
well,
to put in the correct type of slab and everything like that. And then painting it, we could just have it painted. That's no problem.
money, comes down to money.
But then it's not just a one-use thing. It's not just a one-use thing. It's a multi-purpose, area that you can use for all kinds of sports. You put up two basketball courts going this way, straight forward. You have going sideways like this. You have ice skating. You have pickleball. You could play almost anything there.
Yeah, no, it sounds great, but it comes down to
To
the
money.
finances, right? So that can go into a capital budget, but right
Yes.
now, in terms of responding to this one person, it's like, we're doing the best we can. This is what
We'll take care of it. We'll send them a letter. I'll
Yeah.
write it down. We'll
I
send them a
mean,
letter.
we would love to have more facilities. There's no doubt, right?
Yes.
Okay. But I love that you're always thinking about more ideas that could just open up more options, John, keep those thoughts coming. Yeah.
And to keep from going to jail, I will send you the letter first so you can review it. No, I'm only
We'll
kidding.
be happy to review it.
But we will do it because of our spelling and the way we grammarize things around here.
I'll be
So
happy to
have you
review
check
it.
it.
There's also, and I know it's getting late, so we have just a couple more pieces of correspondence, something from Richard Kaplan. strongly supports repairs being made as soon as possible about the pool, and that's happening.
Yes,
And
that's in
then,
the works. It's gonna happen.
and then there's something from, I couldn't read, from Denise, a handwritten letter, also in support of the pool. It's all in your packet, so I'm not gonna reread, but, you know, we're on our way. So do we respond to each of these pieces of correspondence?
Yeah, I mean, we've responded to them, yeah, yeah.
Okay. So, you know, thank you for your feedback. We really welcome that. And this is the
Yeah.
plan. This is the plan. Okay. And then,
Yeah, no,
also the final piece of correspondence is from Joe Palumbo. Who's very appreciative of the fitness center, and that's been very helpful for his recovery process in terms of for his physical and mental well-being. So it's nice to see that support and that we're helping this gentleman through the process of having this center for him to work out at. So again, thank you to him, to all of you. Is there any other business? We would need a vote of 2 to 3, 2 out of 3. I'm not aware of any other business we need to address this evening. Anyone? So next meeting is April 17th at 7 p.m. Is that true? And
Yeah, as long as we could get it approved by the school.
as long as we can get it approved by the school, right, if we can't get it approved by the school, then what's our plan of action?
If we don't get the school, would be here. Room 16 has yoga in it, so we wouldn't be able to use that.
This is.
But yeah, it is. to be
Room
back.
16 is, right, yoga finishes at like 6:45.
Diane King has Monday night, yeah, yeah.
Oh, I see. Okay. Okay, so our hope is that the meeting will be in person in South Assembly, 7 p.m. on the 17th. And you will let us know if for some reason there's a
We'll find-
problem, then we'll figure out what plan B is.
We've never had
Yeah.
12 people at a meeting.
And
And guests, you can give them folding chairs. Make them nice and comfortable. They won't come back.
any other discussion? Do we have a motion to adjourn this very full meeting?
So moved.
Moved. A second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you all so much for your time and dedication. Till next time.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Andrea.
Yeah, goodbye. Thank you.